Okay, what I'm going to try to do here is demonstrate how it looks when I use two different computers with CodeTogether. So this computer over here on my right is my Mac, and this computer over here on my left is my Surface. So if we look at the documents that I've posted in CodeTogether, they talk about how you can open up a document and essentially just start a coding, session. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a file. So I'm going to open up just something that I was working on before. And after I've opened this up, I'm going to see my code over here. And I've tried to enlarge the font so that hopefully you can see it from back here where my phone is sitting. And over here I have all the icons. Now because my screen is enlarged so much, there's this dot 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 to see the rest of them. And the rest of them down here shows the code together. Now if I were to minimize this back to what it normally is, then we can see this is the icon here for the code together. So it's the angle brackets with the dot 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 inside. I'm going to make it bigger again so we can see the typing better. So if I go ahead and click on that, code together, then I get the option to host a new session. And that's what I want to do. I want to invite my other self to go ahead and join this coding session. So I'm going to say host new session. And we'll get this pop-up at the bottom that said a CodeTogether session has started, and there's this link. Now if I click on here, it copies the link to my clipboard. Now what I did is I have an email already queued up and ready to go to send to myself, and I'm going to paste this link and hit send. All right, now over here, my alter ego, my other self, is going to go ahead and open up this link. And I want to copy this link. And then in CodeTogether over here, or in Visual Studio Code over here, if I click on Join Remote Session, I can now paste this session URL in here. So I can paste and hit Enter. Now you'll notice what happens is now it says that I'm in a CodeTogether workspace. And you can also see over here, I got the pop-up that S-17 joined the session. So now we can see over here that we're coding together, and it's me and S-17. And right now the file that we have open is app.js. All right, so I'm going to dismiss these pop-ups, and I'm going to scooch over these windows so that we can see more of my screen since I have my font so large. And again, I apologize for the reflections. I'm trying to do the best I can to show you two computers at once. So, okay, so one thing you'll notice is over here on my Mac, who's the one that's hosting the session, you can see where my cursor is. Over here on the Windows machine, if you look on the left, we're going to see this H. And as I move my cursor, that H moves. And that's essentially showing where I'm at. So even though I'm scrolling down, my cursor hasn't moved. Then I click down here, and now the computer on the left clicks down there. Now, let's say I were to go ahead and change this text. And if I were to change this text, instead of saying contacts, to change it. Now notice as I'm editing over here, I can see the text live over here changing at the same time. I'll make this a little bit bigger so you can really see it. Again, I know this font, it looks like it's like a 1985 computer. It's so large. All right, so as I'm typing over here on my right-hand computer, so let's say I just wanted to say people. On the right, I'm typing. This is my computer I'm on. This is my home computer. So as I'm typing, it looks like me typing. But over here, since this computer is not the one typing, I see the cursor like somebody else is typing. Now, let's say over here, this person's like, well, I shouldn't say people, and they don't like it. Now I can see over here that S-17 is editing. And so now, here, okay, so now we can see S-17 is editing, and S-17 is like, no, I really liked contacts. That was way better. And so now I can see this S for the other alter ego of myself. So, and as I'm working through this, as you can see, we can both navigate, we can both work through here. And this is just a great way that you can collaborate with your team members. And as you can see, these two computers are totally individual. The only thing that they need to have both is an internet connection. All right, the other thing that I want to showcase is that over here in this file base, so I'm going to take this one notch out because it's kind of large. Okay, so if I focus over here, you can see that even though app.js is the file that I have open on this computer, I can still open other files over here. I still have the ability to open these other files. So even though there's only one file that this computer had open, I can still open other files on this computer over here. And yeah, that's about it. And if I go over here, I have the host, which was me, my alter ego Estena, and then you, which was Estena17. And so that is why we saw the H on this computer and the Estena17 on this computer. All right, hopefully that was helpful. Have fun with CodeTogether. Oh, and one more thing I want to mention. With CodeTogether, if you go to their website, don't mind this. One thing that you will notice is they talk about how you can do pair programming from anywhere. So this supports many IDEs, not just VS Code. They talk about how they support Eclipse, IntelliJ, JetBrains, Visual Studio. But they also talk about how there is a way to code within a browser. I have not tried that yet, but that is another option, especially if you are not using VS Code and you're using an Expo stack. That might be another thing to look at. So, okay, hope this was helpful.